Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy afternoon. My name is Christy Nix, and I am a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and I am so incredibly honored to host this event with these amazing fitness professionals. Now, I myself am definitely not a fitness professional, but I tell people all the time the two best investments that I make on a monthly basis are to my personal trainer. The two that I've worked out with are on here, so I'm so thankful for you guys. And in my payments to Juice Plus to get my products every single month. Here's what I've learned with personal trainers is you guys get us out of our comfort zones. You show us that we're capable of way more than we ever realized. But if you think, and I'm not a personal trainer again, but if you think about from a business perspective about maintaining clients, what about the rest of those 23 hours in a day that your client is not at the gym? What are they doing? And someone once told me that people are more willing to learn a foreign language than they are to change the way they eat. And you guys know that is so critical when we're thinking about long term. And one of the other things that has been brought to my attention is the number one reason that people are in assisted living is because they can't get off the toilet. They can't do a half rep of a squat to get off of the toilet. And the way I see it is that you guys and myself as a Juice Plus representative, we have an obligation to help people be inspired to live long and healthy and happy lives. So these three people that I'm going to introduce to you today are going to tell you how they've merged their Juice Plus business along with their fitness business to help every single person that they come in contact with. So I'm going to introduce the speakers when it's time for them to talk, but the first thing they're going to do is they're going to share their Juice Plus story, probably about 3 minutes, and then we'll circle back around and you'll be able to hear their fitness story. So the first person that I want to introduce to you is Heidi Phillips. She is a 2-time Ironman finisher, World Championship qualifier, 3-time Team USA member, over 20 years in the fitness industry, teaching both group and personal fitness. She's coached triathletes, swimmers, and individuals to compete and grow with their personal goals. So without further ado, Heidi, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Christy. My Juice Plus story starts really, it was about my son. It wasn't about me at all. I wasn't looking for a business, and all I was looking for was something that would help my little boy. I had a son that had a lot of immune challenges. What I didn't realize is what I found to help him be able to breathe more easily, because for 3 years we were in and out of emergency rooms and giving him oral steroids and lots of other medications. And so my life was all about losing a lot of sleep, making sure he was breathing. But I had always been into fitness. I had been teaching swimming from the time I was in middle school. I was the lifeguard in high school and was continuing to teach. And then I started doing triathlons even right out of college, basically. Way before triathlons were cool, I was doing them. And I ran just to stay fit. I had started jogging sort of in high school and just running casually. I never ran for my high school or in college, but I had been running. And so I did that again very casually. I'd sign up for a 5K or a 10K. What I noticed once I added Juice Plus to my diet was every time I ran, I was getting a PR, a personal record or a personal best, we call it. I wasn't racing seriously. I was really doing it for fitness, but I had gotten faster, and I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense to me, because I always thought I had been a healthy eater. But my whole idea of health was what we look like on the outside, what our body fat is, what our number is on a scale, what size clothes we wear. It was not really about true health, which my son taught me all about, and where I first started learning about the power of nutrition and the power of fruits and vegetables. So that is my Juice Plus story.
Sorry, I muted myself. I love how you talk about true health, because that is something that I feel like most people have no idea what it really is and what's happening on the inside of our body. And that's what trajects us long term. I know a lot of people talk about macronutrition, but really it's our micros that are imperative that we pay more attention to as well. So, the next person I want to talk to, and it kind of, I think, fits right in, is Brett. He competed in natural bodybuilding competition in 2011, a week before he earned his bachelor's in health sciences from James Madison University. He started as a personal trainer in 2012 and then started his Juice Plus business exactly a year later. before going full-time traveling the world in spring of 2014. And what I think is really remarkable is that during all this time, he made it to QNMD, which if you know the structure of this business is pretty good. He made it in 19 months. So Brett, we'd love to hear your personal Juice Plus story.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is my first time on Zoom, so I'm excited and full of energy. My Juice Plus story starts 3.5 years ago when I had a friend and chiropractor in my hometown introduced me to Juice Plus. And prior to talking with Kevin is his name, I had seen, I think, 3 or 4 physical therapists and chiropractors because I had suffered a neck injury in the gym prior to that. And the thing that Kevin did differently for me is he talked to me about the relationship between food and the inflammation that I was having. So these chiropractors were, whether they're doing a good job or not, they didn't explain to me why I continued to have this, this dull nagging pain, even though they were correcting my posture and I was doing different stretching. And it's kind of funny because a few weeks before I talked with Kevin, who introduced me to Juice Plus, my dad and I used a Jack LaLanne juicer. So that was kind of my first experience with the whole fruits and veggies because back in college, I was eating, everything what Heidi mentioned and we talked about is macros, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, but fruits and vegetables and your micronutrition wasn't something that was ever taught to me. I have a degree in health sciences, but again, it was something like it was if nutrition wasn't really fully understood by anyone. So when Kevin then said to me, here's Juice Plus, and then again I said I tried juicing and that lasted, let's say, a week. It was such a pain to clean. It was so expensive. I really had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that it was going to make me feel better. So when Kevin showed me Juice Plus, I used to run a supplement store in college. So I thought I knew everything. I had 10 years of taking multivitamins and whey protein and that's kind of along with, it's the longer story, but the whole concept was I didn't really understand how something could be around for 20 years and I had never heard of it because that's something I always took. I thought it was a supplement, but he said, this is food. And I went home and I researched it. And instead of waiting to order, I immediately called Kevin. I said, do you have any extra that I can have right now? And I started it that night. And I can just tell you the last 3.5 years, I can't even recognize my life before now because I'm so happy and healthy every day. I feel fantastic. I knew that it was going to help my health. I was waking up before my alarm clock went off. I just had so much energy. But the thing that was really crucial to me is I was a personal trainer and I did bodybuilding. So fitness was so huge to me. It wasn't about just getting healthier. It was about the fitness aspect. And I was just so amazed how strong I had gotten and my recovery time, something that I was taking so many supplements and my recovery time was, 3 or 4 days. And I talked to Loretta a little bit before this and I told her yesterday I went for a 30-minute walk before I had a smoothie. Then I did a leg workout in the gym. And then last night out here in beautiful Phoenix, I decided to go for a night hike with my fiance. And I woke up today and it feels like I didn't even do anything. Most people would feel like they're struggling to get out of bed for how much stuff I did, especially in my legs, because you hear all the time about people suffering from, not being able to recover quick enough. And here I am, just the power of plants. So that's kind of my story. And
I love
there you
it.
go. Thanks.
I love how you said that you worked in a supplement store and, a lot of people have these preconceived notions about Juice Plus and what it is and automatically think it's a vitamin or that it's juice. And that's why we're here as educators, to let people know that it is entirely something different. And I could get into the research, but I think leading up with Loretta's story, the fact is, she's a wellness coach. She's also a personal trainer. She had her own studio for 6 years and she called it Juiced Up Training. She created her own coaching program called Ready, Set, Go, and she's a national speaker. So, this woman gets what nutrition does for the human body, and she has a lot of really good energy from it. I'm sure it's natural, but I think she also gets that from Juice Plus. So, Loretta, if you don't mind sharing your Juice Plus story, that'd be great.
Sure, and since I celebrated a 53rd birthday last week, I'm triple dosing my Juice Plus now. But I figure with every year, it just means more Juice Plus, that's all. My story really goes even back to childhood. I was just a natural mover. You would find me at the top of trees and up at the top of hills, and I always loved to move and ride my bike and go. I became a dancer. I was always just fascinated with moving your body. It just always felt good to me. And I became an aerobic instructor all through college. It was one of the ways that I funded my education. But I fell away from the fitness business because I didn't really see how I could make a good, solid career and make a really professional income. And I'd always regretted it. There was something in the back of me that always was attracted to wellness and nutrition and fitness. And I was always reading the nutrition books. But then I became a mom of 3 kids. And I don't know anyone on this call if you're a parent, but you start to bump down on the priority list. And I started to slip in my nutrition. And then I started to watch how hard it was to feed a family of 3 kids and getting nutrition in them. And I understood the power of fruits and vegetables. And I owned a juicer just like you. It was a Juice Man juicer. The kids wouldn't drink it, and I thought it was a pain. So I was taking the whole counter full of supplements, trying to bridge the gap, and very frustrated. 2 of my kids also had very challenging health issues, and I was I was on a desperate search. What could I do? And I felt that Juice Plus was a gift with a big red bow wrapped on it. A girl at my church gave me information, and it was like all the light bulbs went off. This company had done it was like the Jetsons. They put food in a capsule, and they made it easy, and they made it affordable. They were growing their own food on their own farms. They were making it herbicide, pesticide, metal-free, all the things you would look for. It had quality controls and a quality label. Then I found out that there was proof that the nutrients get into your bloodstream. The enzymes were there, and I had just gotten done reading the book by Dr. Smokey Santillo, who's actually the creator of Juice Plus. He wrote a book called Enzymes. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's very fascinating, where he realized that raw food was alive. And so I called the girl who gave me the information. I said, give me Juice Plus for my whole family, all of it, the trio, the complete, and we all got started. I myself had restored energy, better sleep. I started to work out again. Before I turned 40, I got in the fittest shape of my life. I looked the best I'd ever looked. I lost 10 pounds that I needed to lose from the baby making, and started jogging again, lifting weights. I could reclaim myself. I went through 10 straight Cleveland, Ohio winters without getting sick. I've been sick once in 14 years that I had to lay down in bed. And I would take Juice Plus if it was just for that reason, because I'm way too busy. I have way too many things to do in life to be sick. And then my Cameron, he's actually on our nurses video. He is a nurse practitioner. He's married. He lives in Maryland. He had a horrible lifelong problem with allergies, and Juice Plus healed him. He was allergic to 33 things. He took medicine and shots, and often ended up with upper respiratory infections, and took some time. So if you're considering Juice Plus, know that this is a lifestyle product. This is something that the longer you take it, the news gets better for you. My middle child, Kristen, a huge part of my life mission. I adopted her at birth, and she was born of a teenage mommy who ate a lot of junk food. So that's the other reason we need to have educators out there helping people know that it's not about slaving at the gym. It's not about, how good you can make the outside look, like Heidi said. It is truly what's happened on the inside. And so Kristen healed rosacea and eczema. She was able to start having peaceful night's sleep every night, which allowed her attention deficit disorder to get minimized. And then she started to crave fruits and vegetables. So if you came to this call thinking, I don't really like eating fruits and vegetables, well, that'll change. So that's my story.
That is an awesome story. And the thing is you guys, we don't know what we don't know. Like, we talk about having this family history of disease, and first of all, it's not our destiny. And if you think about any of the books that she just talked about with Dr. Smokey Santillo, you're going to learn that. But also, one of the things that Loretta just said was, Juice Plus is a gift with a big red bow around it. So leading into the business, I look at it as, how could I not tell someone about it? I am simply the messenger. Yes, Juice Plus is a business and you sell the product, but you are locking in a relationship with these people and helping them live healthier, happier lives. Juice Plus is that catalyst. So Heidi, can you get a little bit into your business story with us?
Sure, I can do that. Okay. So I shared with you that, I wasn't really looking for a business. I wasn't. But like you said, when you know what you know and you start having a certain experience with something, you can't help but share it. So I naturally had shared it not just with moms, but as I got more into competing, and then I wanted to do personal training, and then I got into triathlon coaching, I couldn't help but share it with my clients because I felt like it really would not have been ethical for me to do that. Now, I will say, and I will admit, that I did not want people in the age group I was competing against. I didn't really particularly want to tell them about Juice Plus because I do feel like it was a competitive edge for me. But everyone else I would tell, and all my other clients. And then after a while, of course, I felt badly about that. So I did share it with everybody. But I felt that if I wasn't telling them about that, I was not as good of an instructor or a teacher or a trainer, because it wasn't just my responsibility to teach them to swim across the pool, or swimming efficiency was that was what I was known for in the Southeast, was swimming efficiency over time. And so I had a referral-based business for that, did stroke analysis and all that kind of stuff. But I felt like it wasn't right for me not to share something that could make a profound difference, not just for when they were coming to see me, not just for the times that I had with them, but for their life moving forward. That if I hadn't shared that with them, that was just wrong of me. Typically as trainers, whether I was helping a mom who just had a baby, I also did that. I did some in-home personal training. I tried to help moms who had kids before they wanted to put their babies in the nursery or whatever to go to the gym. I would go to their house and we would clean out their pantry, and we would, give them some exercises they could do in the master bathrooms, typically where we set up their weights, and I would go see them 2 to 3 times a week. So that was another something that I did. I'm easily bored, so I do a lot of stuff. But I felt like it wouldn't have been right for me not to talk to them about it, because they were going to work with me for a limited amount of time. And that was my only time with them. Most people are not using a trainer for the rest of their lives. We have a limited window of time with them. And if we're not sharing with them how they can stay healthy going forward, sure, they know they need to eat food. They need the calories. They need a certain percentage of, protein to carbs and all of that sort of stuff, and what's going to help them recover. And when you're talking about endurance sports, which is primarily what I coached with triathlons and Ironman and all of that, you have to tell them you have to eat within this certain window. But how could I not tell them about Juice Plus and the fact that you're going to recover faster and you're going to be able to work out again the next day? For those trainers who work with people who have not been exercising and are brand new to working out, that the biggest limiter is for people is when they first get started, they want to see the results fast. So you want to push them a little bit. But when you do, then they're so sore they can't even walk around the next day. And then you stand the risk of losing them. Plus, I think it's unethical, once we know what we know, to work with people when their nutrition is not up to par, when their bodies are truly not able to deal with the extra stress we're putting on it. So I don't think we're good trainers if we can't, share with them how their body can best be served and how their bodies can be more efficient with doing the training and how they're going to look better, not only for the long term, but for the short term when they're working with us as well. So it's there was a lot of that. So yes, I started sharing it. I built my customer base pretty quickly because I couldn't help but share it. And it was just a natural thing for me to do. And, I'm not out to sell anything. I'm just going to share with them. This is what I do. This is what I've experienced. This is what the people who are having the best results are doing. And here's the information on it. And if it makes sense to you, let me know. And so that was basically what I did. I was not as savvy about sharing the business, however. And since I started doing that in a deliberate way, which I wish I had done way sooner, but I just wasn't as comfortable with it because I didn't know what I know, I was able to then start stepping back from what I was doing. I was no longer married to being at the pool at 5:30, 3 days a week because I had to coach master swimming. I no longer had to work as many hours in a week if I didn't want to, because as trainers and as instructors, you're up early in the morning. And then your clients, again, you have clients at night, and your window of time typically is in the middle of the day. You have some time to do your other things, but the hours can be rough over time. And I was able to leverage my Juice Plus income to finally actually be able to step back. So now I actually work with people on a volunteer basis. I'm doing a swim clinic tomorrow night. Actually, tonight, I get to work with a group of women that are runners, but they're not really good triathletes and they struggle in the pool. So I get to go work with a group of about 15 women tonight and work with them on a donation basis because I can give back, because I don't have to promote that you need to pay me for this and lock you into this, and then I have to be at the pool at a certain time and all of that. So now I have a lot more choices with my life and what I get to do, and now I'm free to go and free to give, and I have time freedom in my life. So that is my Juice Plus story in a nutshell. And I did go to the top of the company. There's an amazing benefits program with this company, full package with health, dental, disability, long-term disability, vision, the whole 9 yards. And I just wish I had embraced that much sooner, but I love it. I love what I do. I love helping people, whether it's with their fitness or with their nutrition. And how can I not share Juice Plus? It's amazing.
I think probably if you could sum up all the great things that Heidi said, but it is relationship based. I mean, you guys may get a short amount of time with your clients, but your relationship with them when you share Juice Plus is forever. Most people who start Juice Plus stay in Juice Plus. We say womb to tomb. And you get to be a part of their families and see the things that have changed. I mean, it really is a big deal when a mom calls you and tells you that their kids are eating broccoli. May not be much to you, but you've impacted their life tenfold. You've changed their children's DNA, and now they're passing that on to their children's children. So, Brett, with you saying that you worked really closely with a supplement store, and then you saw the benefits of Juice Plus, kind of walk us through what made you decide the business was right for you.
Okay. So I had mentioned earlier that I had started taking Juice Plus 3.5 years ago. And Kevin at the time, because he was a distributor, of course, said, how would you like to join the business? Because you're a personal trainer. This would be a good fit for you. And I'm the kind of person where if I don't experience something for myself, it's really hard for me then to go and share it with someone else. You know, I'm the kind of person, again, that I couldn't sleep at night sometimes running a supplement store because I was afraid of maybe recommending a whey protein. It wouldn't sit well with them, and I didn't want to be part of the reason that someone had an issue or a problem. And that's what I love about Juice Plus is I'm always the solution to everyone's issues, because it is just food. And it's kind of funny. 6 months into taking Juice Plus, I was bouncing off the walls. I'm waking up an hour before my alarm goes off. Like I said, if I'm at the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home till 10 o'clock at night, it was just a balanced energy. It wasn't the ups and downs and everything. When I was taking supplements, it was take something when I wake up, take something before I work out, take something after I work out, take something prior to a big competition or anything at all, and then taking something before bed. It was so much. And I love the simplicity of it. And as a personal trainer, people come to you and ask you for advice, and they train with you because they expect you to get them results with exercise. But again, after 6 months of taking Juice Plus and not really having a business background or really understanding what I was doing, is I remember growing up, I always wanted to find a way to help other people out. But I would talk to my dad and I would say, I wanted to invent a piece of exercise equipment. I wanted to do something. And he said, well, how are you going to afford to start that or build that? Or, it was always a money issue. And I love that, just being a personal trainer at the YMCA and not making that much money and having to pay for student loans. For $50, I was able to start my very own business. And for personal training, you kind of feel like you have your own business. But at the end of the day, the reason I loved Juice Plus is it was about me becoming something, being involved with something bigger than myself. And with personal training, I saw that I was only able to help people one at a time. Whereas with Juice Plus, to be able to have the option or the ability to help hundreds of people around the world with nutrition. And again, the longer that I was involved taking Juice Plus and understanding how the body responded to proper fuel, I just had to keep sharing it with everyone. And the thing that really was a light bulb moment for me is I took Juice Plus, I had all this great energy, but again, that was only what it could do for me. What could it do for other people? So a client, my actual first client ever, he's in his 60s. I gave him 2 bottles of it for Christmas. And I just wanted to see how, I just hoped it helped for him. 3 weeks later, I see him again and he's like, Brett, I need more of those pills. I feel fantastic. And then, a light bulb went off in my head and I'm like, I'm in my 20s, he's in his 60s and he feels fantastic. what else could I do for other people? And I think that I loved, I could train someone who was a mother or a father, and I could help them not only with their exercise, but I could help them with their health. But then that the company allows you to sponsor a child and get nutrition into their system for free. I mean, that is just mind blowing to me, that I could be able to help a family out, and that it was free. So you mentioned earlier, I made it to the second to the highest commission, or the top of the company in 19 or 20 months. And I did that not because I did everything right, or that the fact that I was a personal trainer. It was just, I mean, I just want to eat these all day. I'm a product of the product. I absolutely fell in love with it. All I was doing was sharing it with people I cared about, or sharing it with just random people. And because I believe everyone deserves to be healthy. You know, it's their choice what they want to do with it. But I forget who mentioned it. It's a responsibility. You know, when something makes you feel that good, it really is a responsibility to tell and trying to help other people out. So I just had total fun with it. I mean, there's been ups and downs, but you know, I got a text message from a college buddy of mine who's been taking it for a year, and we had this long conversation, and he said, "You changed my life." And that, to me, it gets me emotional, because thinking back with supplements, I never heard that, because the more that I learn about supplements, they're no good for you. I mean, it's made in the lab. You know, our bodies are designed to live off the land. Whether you eat whole foods or not, Juice Plus is just concentrated food. It's the bottom line. It's that simple. But something that seems so simple, people, you know, they almost second guess themselves. And I think what I love about this company is it's not about product, or it's not about the business. It's mission driven. It's wanting to just help people out, from drinking more water to exercising to just being able to put a smile on someone's face. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. And the fact is, we make money by getting people on the product, but we just wake up with passion and purpose, because we are changing lives. And that's the biggest thing, is we're changing lives with the product and business. So I didn't do anything special. I didn't have a smartphone. I mean, this is my office now, and I've been able to travel, and I was in, I think, 6 or 7 countries last year, and I met my fiance traveling a year and a half ago in Germany, and it's just been a blessing to be able to live my dream, and just be able to, you know, have Juice Plus allow me to find my gift and then be able to live it. And again, it's just, I think that's probably 3 or 4 minutes. I could keep talking, but I'm forever grateful for both the product and business.
But that's just it, is like what Brett just said, is that you bring your skills to the table. Like, no one taught network marketing. Our company has a tried and proven system that if you follow and you're able to be teachable and duplicatable, you can do incredibly well in this business. But the bottom line is yes, the bonuses are good, the benefits are great, so are the paychecks. But what you feel when you are able to be impacted and help other people get impacted at like an exponential rate, there's just nothing else better. And what I love is that none of us in here are on the same team, but we're all willing to help one another out. You know, it is truly one team, one mission. And I think Loretta is one of those great people who hold the torch to show that it is all about working with other teams. So Loretta, can you take us through your business?
Yes, and I know we're really rapidly running out of time, so I'm going to be as concise as I can, but I don't want to miss out being able to share with other personal trainers, because I think this is such an important part of what we're trying to communicate. You know, the company started mailing me checks for just sharing the product with people. I didn't even intend on doing this as a business, but within a couple months, they were $500 a month. And that's when I got inspired to sell the company I'd ran for 13 years and go and become certified as a personal trainer. But you know what? A few weeks after I got the certification, I actually went through a very painful divorce. After 17 and a half years of marriage, I ended up getting divorced with 3 kids, having to sell my home, downsize, and it had just opened up my studio. And so, wow, my checks were up to over $1,200 a month by then. And I don't know what I would have done without that secondary income. So first of all, my gratitude towards this company and what I was able to do as a single mom. And then I began to train. I was training 35, 40 hours a week. My training studio was a revolving door. I never left. I mean, I was there in the morning, come home, get the kids on this bus, go back, train a few more people, come back, get dinner on the table, go back, set them up with homework, go ahead, train more people. I worked every Saturday for 7 straight years. I really don't want to work every Saturday. I kind of like the weekends. And I loved training people, but I really realized, to me, boy, do trainers need some options. And I continued to grow and build my business. And I remember letting Saturdays go to another trainer. Brought someone else in to take those people that had to do Saturday. Then I was down to training 1 night a week, Thursday nights. Then it was just one by one, I was reclaiming my time. And all of a sudden, my Juice Plus checks are way more than the $1,500 a week that I was making as a full-blown personal trainer, charging a good dollar. Wow. And in 2008, I was able to make it to National Marketing Director. I ended up being able to have another dream, which is a work-at-home mom when my 2 daughters were going through high school. And now I'm helping to fund their college. I remarried during my journey, and my husband is a carpenter, and he was able to hang up his hammer a few months ago as he became a national marketing director. This business permitted us to leave cloudy Cleveland, Ohio, and move to sunny Wilmington, North Carolina. I have a beautiful 63-degree day today. Took a run this morning. I claimed my day. I'm still in my fitness clothes. I'm in my home office here. I blew out the 6-figure income a long time ago. To me, the sky's the limit, and I just encourage each one of you, consider joining our mission.
Awesome. Hey, I want to leave some times for questions because we have about 5 minutes, and if there's no questions, then I want you guys in one word to give us an idea of what you wouldn't do if you could restart this business over again. But if you have a question, unmute yourself so these trainers can talk to you.
Should I unmute everybody?
You could, yeah.
Okay, because they might not know how to do that. Okay, everyone's unmuted. So if anyone had anything to say, they can do it now.
I do have a question. Hi, I'm Amy Ledlow from Ramsey, New Jersey, and I am a brand new rep. I am a fitness instructor, a group fitness instructor. This morning I was working out at the gym, and a personal trainer was next to me whom I know from the gym. And so I kind of mentioned Juice Plus to him, and he said, oh, I do Advocare. I don't know anything about Advocare, but if maybe Brett could give me some insight on how I could handle speaking to him again or compare the two, I would greatly appreciate it. And let me take myself off video. Sorry. Here I am.
That's fine. Putting me on the spot.
I'd be happy to answer.
No, Loretta, you can finish with me, but I would basically say I'm not in the business of comparison because Juice Plus is food at the end of the day, and it's its own breed, and I feel like if I get into the comparison, you start going down the list of all these different supplement companies that are out there, and then it's just that's the best thing I can say is Juice Plus. I talked to a woman the other day who her daughter does Isogenics company. And again, I said that's fine, whatever somebody wants to do, but I'm just going to sit here and say, whether you take a supplement or a protein powder or anything, you're probably not eating the amount of fruits and vegetables that you need. So you still should take Juice Plus on top of that. But again, I'm not into the comparison or argument side. Loretta?
All I'm going to say is we could give you my objection cycle training. That might help you because I would just say, oh, wow, that's really cool. How long have you been doing that? Tell me more about it. Why did you decide to start sharing it? How long have you shared it? What benefits are you getting from it? Hey, let's sit down and talk because I'd love to pick your brain about it. Just embrace it because you're not going to bash it. You're not going to compare it, but you might want to dig in and find more. Of opportunity, you could say, would you be open to a comparison to what I learned about the product that I have versus yours? I would love to do that with you. If they're not and they're sold out on their product line, you just move on to other people.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I definitely encourage you guys to ask the tough questions because if you don't have your questions answered, you could be missing out.
Oh, no.
If there's no questions, can I get our 3 trainers to give us a little idea if they could do this business over again, what they wouldn't do?
Heidi, do you want to go in the order that we talked?
Yeah, sure. Heidi, kick it off.
Okay. All right. I will say what I wouldn't do would be to get all caught up in what my certifications were and letting my ego get in the way of sharing this business. Because I think it held me back. I didn't share the business. I didn't understand enough about the industry. I didn't do my due diligence, and I wound up going through a divorce and not having the financial situation I needed, and I didn't have a lot of options at that time. So I had to go back to work full-time as a fitness director for a very large YMCA, working 60, 70 hours a week. And if I had been as good about sharing this business, which I think is just as much of a gift, if not more, than the product, I would not have had to do that. And I would have, anyway, that's my, I think our own egos with what our certifications are and how much schooling we have and how good we are at whatever can get in the way of helping people.
Hey, Christy, we ran out of time, so I'm going to need to stop. Okay, so if you want to say some closing comment, and then I'm going to click the record button.
All right. Thank you guys all for getting on here. We can continue this conversation on the Facebook event, but if you have questions, ask the person who invited you on here and consider giving it a whirl. Thank you to our trainers. You guys are amazing.
Very
Thank you.